Hi, my name is David Pitts.
And I'm Nathaniel.
Together we are
The Pitts.
very sad for us, yes. So, it's been a while since we made a video, and we were talking about the video we made almost 2 years ago now, at the beginning of the pandemic. And I remember I was going, now, son, it's not going to be that bad. We're going to flatten the curve. It'll be a couple of weeks, a month or whatever. And, boy, was I wrong. So,
Oh yeah, you were really
I
wrong.
was very wrong.
But-
Nathaniel, being a pessimist, he was telling me at the time I was wrong. But
No, I just did what I always do. The minute I heard there was a pandemic, I went on YouTube and I typed in pandemic, and they told me that pandemics usually last 2 years historically.
2 years, 3 years, something like that.
Yeah.
'Cause we're going on. We're about to hit. Yeah, we are about. We're into the third year, but we're about to hit. I guess we're about to hit 2 years. It started in March of 2020. I think they started seeing stuff in China in November, December 2019, which is why they call it COVID-19. But we started seeing it in this country in February and March 2020. So we're going on 2 years. About to hit February 2022. It's late January now. So here we are. Yeah, you were right. About 2 years. Hope we're almost done.
Oh, Dad, I hope so too. But anyway, we'll never be done because I don't think it'll ever really go away.
Maybe not. But I don't know. There's this particular surge right now. It's really contagious, so a lot of people have it, and the hospitals are really at critical level. But apparently, if you've been vaccinated, etc., it's not quite as bad. Even though it evades the vaccines, but it's not quite as bad, and you're not likely to go to the hospital if you've been vaccinated and boosted, which we are. But yeah. Anyway, I'm looking forward to going away, but I don't think it's going to go away either. I think they were calling it endemic, which means like the flu. We've got it now. It's going to be in society and in the world, and we're going to have COVID coming and going all the time from now on, apparently.
Unfortunately, you know why hope is not endemic, but I think it actually is. The measures that they've taken.
The measures that they've taken. You hope they're not endemic, but you think they are. You mean permanent? You're going to make them permanent. Like what kind of measures? What kind of measures are you talking about?
Well, I'm talking about vaccine requirements for going into businesses.
Yeah, that didn't. The Supreme Court struck Joe Biden's vaccine and testing requirements for big businesses down, struck them down, and so he's withdrawing it. He's just pulling it back and saying, okay, well, the Supreme Court struck it down, so use your own judgment on that. But I think businesses generally speaking, I don't know if they do it in California, New York, but here there's no vaccine requirement for going into a store or anything. There's nothing, here in Texas.
But yeah, but I also don't like how they've really kind of demonized people who made a different choice.
Who've made a different choice, like to not get vaccinated. Well, I know for myself, speaking for myself, when I go to the grocery store, because I still wear my mask, and I see somebody at the grocery store not wearing their mask, I give them the stink eye. That's what I give them, the stink eye. Like, you're a bad citizen. That's what I think. Bad citizen. Well, I don't know, son. A lot of people don't. I don't actually give people the stink eye. I was doing that for a while. I'd give people the stink eye at the grocery store, but now it's like, well, I don't know. I've got this whole, I understand the COVID exhaustion thing, but it's to me still putting on a mask so easy, so simple. Why not? Getting the vaccine. Why not? I know there's a lot of, stuff out there where this is, oh, there are people who think that everybody who's had the vaccine, I'm going to ask you this. There are people out there who say that everybody who's had the vaccine is going to be dead within a couple, 3 years. It's going to kill you within a couple, 3 years because it like alters your DNA or something. And it's, what do you think of that, Mr. Conspiracy?
Well, I hope that doesn't happen, but I don't think.
You don't think so? Yeah, I don't think so either.
But also.
So I just don't quite understand the vaccine hesitancy myself. I don't understand why people don't.
But what I don't like is that the micromanaging by like these internet companies to police what they call misinformation on their platforms. Because number one, I don't think they're doing it out of the kindness of their heart. I think they're doing it because of this law that was signed in 2018. Long story short.
I know what you're talking about. Section 230 of the, what was the name of the act originally?
Communications Decency Act.
Communications Decency Act. It isn't what it sounds like. Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act created this was signed in 1996. Before they could really anticipate what was coming, but it was extremely important to the development of social media platforms because you go ahead. You want to tell them?
Because it basically, and of the internet in general, because it basically provided a lot of immunity for what third parties posted on these websites.
Right.
So basically, Facebook couldn't be sued for what I posted on their platform because they didn't.
Facebook couldn't be sued for what we post on their platform because of this Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. It made them where they weren't liable. They couldn't be held liable, couldn't be sued for what third parties post on their platforms, which gave them
a lot of free speech.
A lot of free speech and a lot of room to grow. They didn't have to, they didn't have to cover themselves against litigation constantly. But then, in 2018...
there was a well-intentioned law.
As many laws are well-intentioned.
And they always give the laws such nice names.
Was this the Cute Puppies Act of 2018? You don't want to vote against cute puppies, do you? No. Almost, though. What was it? This was the...
Stop Online Sex Trafficking Act.
The Stop Online Sex Trafficking Act. And they used this act to remove those protections from internet companies, from web... Partially remove these protections so that now they are liable. They can be sued for things that are posted by third parties. So they're getting real careful, and they've kind of erred on the side of caution because these internet companies are all businesses, and they don't want to lose money. And their market value is their main concern, not free speech. They're not in the free speech business. Not really. They're in the money business like everybody else.
And also, being put in jail for
Backpage. Backpage, the people from Backpage, the people who ran Backpage, were called in front of Congress more than once, right?
Yes.
And asked to answer for the problem of online sex trafficking on their platform.
Because they had an adult section.
They had an adult section, adult services section.
On their personal.
Yes, in their personals ads, and so these their escorts, sex workers would advertise there, and it was in Congress there was a strong feeling that it was contributing to sex trafficking. So, calling it the Anti-Sex Trafficking Act, is that what they called it? The Stop Online Sex Trafficking Act made it very difficult to vote against, even if it contained some little poison pills like making it impossible or making it much easier to sue these platforms, which made these platforms, like I said, they overreacted.
Or hold them criminally liable.
Or hold them. The people who ran Backpage are now in jail. They're in prison, and Backpage is gone. And so I think that YouTube, Google, Facebook all took a look at that and said, well, I'd rather be on my yacht and enjoying, enjoying my life and my money than being in prison. And I like having my business, and so they paid attention and they overcorrected.
But I also think that the people who first of all the bill was passed 97-2.
97-2 is bipartisan, and Nathaniel and I have been talking about it. And we think that the Trump's presidency contributed to this in a couple of ways. One, the right wing have always been kind of in favor of controlling
What people see.
what people see. They've always been in favor of controlling. They have the social conservatism thing going on coming from the right because they're all enmeshed with the evangelicals, and so there's that. But then because Trump won in 2016, and there was a perception that Hillary's loss was, that misinformation and these Russian bots setting up groups on Facebook contributed to her loss. And so then there was more of an energy from the left to go along with controlling what was happening on the internet. And we feel that Trump's presidency kind of really created the perfect storm for them to really clamp down on internet freedoms, which is, I don't think it's a good thing. I'm not a big fan of misinformation. I don't think providing a platform for hate speech or that sort of thing is a good idea.
But the point is who decides.
Who decides? Yeah.
Yeah, and
I decide. It's me. If you want to, I'll take responsibility for deciding.
And my thing is like, everyone's okay when it's the other side.
Right. And you hear it from both sides. You hear it from the left and the right. The right is saying that, the internet, these large platforms favor the left, and they allow, discourse from the left while they're canceling guys like Alex Jones and canceling guys like Trump, for instance, famously, gets kicked off of Twitter. And so the right says that the left is, these companies are favoring the left, and the left says the same thing about the right. So anyway, we both agree that it's not
spooky.
healthy, it's spooky, and it's not healthy for the internet to have too much control. I'm a fan of freedom. I don't. But
here's the thing: they didn't mandate that these companies make these changes, but they knew that by taking away their liability, that they.
Yeah, by making it possible to sue them, the government didn't have to go in and create its own strict regulations. They just set it up to where the companies would do it themselves.
Because if the government did that'd be easier to challenge.
Yeah, it'd be an easier to challenge. It would make the government look like the bad guys. In this case, the government just sets it up where these internet platforms lose their protection from litigation, and they just do it themselves. And they actually overreact. They got more strict, probably on misinformation and perceived hate speech and things like that than the government ever would have regulated. But anyway, let us know what you think. Subscribe to our channel, and we're going to be posting more videos. We decided that we like to talk.
Oh, and I have a new group on Facebook.
He has a new group on Facebook. Tell us what it's called.
Citizens for a Free and Open Internet.
Citizens for a Free and Open Internet. It's a group on Facebook, and it's we talk a little bit. And it's kind of for that, to look at the problem of online censorship, basically. So let us know what you think. Comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Say bye, Nathaniel.
Bye.
Bye.